variation. It's from mount, okay? So we've controlled the one arm, we've isolated the one arm and the head, okay? So there's usually the option for the head and arm strangle, okay? But even if you're in the burrito position, it's available, okay? Because a lot of the time, the reaction off your opponent will be to turn away from you, okay? If Omi turns away from me and he changes the angle that I need to apply the choke or the strangle from this position, then he's got a second opportunity, okay? So what I mean by that is if I'm trying to do the head and arm and then he starts to turn away, look, and he starts to change the angle of the position, then I can't apply that pressure through the shoulder into the neck efficiently, okay? So that's like second chance for Omid. So it's a very common way for someone to turn, okay? And a lot of people sometimes think that they can bridge the person on top in that direction as well. So that's the direction they'll tend to go, okay? So what I need to do is lift my head to control this arm, okay? So sometimes this will encourage them away. I've got my arm too deep and my head would be going down low, okay? Like the peekaboo movement to finish the head and arm. But to encourage them in that direction, all I'm going to do is I'm going to lift my ear up towards the elbow, okay, and then drive in this direction. Okay, when people feel that force, they'll tend to adjust their hips and try to turn in that direction too, okay? Just like the analogy of a door, okay, the hinge is down here, the handle's up here, so that's where the most leverage is, okay? You take your ear up to where the handle would be, and that's when you're going to be able to manipulate the arm more efficiently. So once you drive in this direction, look what it does. It creates a disconnection of this shoulder, okay? And this space is what we're trying to fill. Okay, so I'm going to wait until I can get my chest to travel around the corner, okay? And at the same time, I need to shuffle my knee up and create a pillow underneath the head, okay? Just like you're doing the reset, okay? So look, once I've cleared that arm, okay, and that disconnection has happened, my chest is going to come around the corner and my knee is going to slide up to a pillow position like this, okay? But obviously the first thing I need to do is start to set up the farce, okay? So on this arm, I'm going to create the entanglement and then shoot around the corner. Okay, so once I've changed that angle, it gives me a lot of leverage. Okay, all I'm doing then is the 2 points of contact is the arm on the bottom and then the pressure through the shoulder. So it's a little, the principle is a bit more in reverse to the version that Omid showed. Okay, Omid was like you create a block with your chest and there's a bit of pressure on the top, but then it's like a rinsing motion which maximizes the leverage. Okay, on this version, the block is on the bottom. Okay, so you create a block with your arm and then when you turn that corner, that's what's creating the rinse through your chest. Okay, you come up from a really efficient angle and you squeeze the shoulder up towards the neck. Okay, so one more time. We're in the burrito or the head and arm position. You drive your ear up towards the elbow and they start to turn away. Look, there's my opportunity. I don't want to be too deep with my elbow, so sometimes you need to make a little bit of an adjustment to make sure you've got that bar on the bottom side of the neck. Okay, you shoot through and change the angle. Okay, try not to overcomplicate the movement. Okay, all I'm doing is sliding my knee up to change that angle, almost like I'm trying to create a T. Does everyone understand? Okay, so try that out with your partners. 1, 2, 3. Is the shoulder line. Okay, so when I'm here, it's all about timing. It's about knowing when the technique's going to work. So, like right now, we're just focusing on the technique. But if I was to drive here and Omi doesn't turn, there's no space now for me to do the farce. Okay, I've got to wait for this to fully disconnect so that I know that I can get my chest around the corner. Look, it's there. It's that chest pressure and that turn. Okay, that's going to apply the pressure through the shoulder into the neck. Okay, the lock is just going to be in place. So now you know the reference point. Okay, you have to wait for that shoulder to disconnect. So for example, if I was in this position and I started driving the elbow here and Omi didn't go, I would cradle the shoulder and just go back to the head and arm, okay, because he's giving it to me. But people are gonna turn. You're gonna feel their feet. They're gonna twist their hip. They're gonna try and turn up onto their side. And now it's gonna be really hard to try and pull them back down with the other head and arm. So look, just make the adjustment, and you come around the corner. Just take the farce entanglement, and you've got a second option. That makes sense? So it's like you threaten with the head and arm, they turn away. That indication, as soon as you break that shoulder line and you know that you can pivot around the corner, that's when the farce is there. Make sense? Okay, so person on bottom, really turtle away for them so that you can feel that timing of shooting in for the farce, okay? With your partners, 1, 2, 3.
Come on this journey.